Greetings everyone, welcome to video number 26 in the project management series presented by Process Geekoid. Today's agenda will be going over reviewing the PMBOK process table as well as the 23rd process, which is the control cost process. This process occurs at the intersection of the cost knowledge area and the controlling process group. As always, please subscribe, like, and comment. So let's move forward. Control cost is the process where we make sure project costs are under budget and within the cost baseline. We use forecasting methods such as variance at completion, estimate at completion, estimate to complete, and earned value management such as cost variance and cost performance index to see if the project is doing well or not. Otherwise, we raise a change request to make sure that we can fix the budget. In terms of fixing the budget, we don't want to stretch the budget too much, and it's not going to be needed or recommended to do so since it will increase the project cost and the sponsor would not be happy. In short, control cost process is where we monitor the status of the project to update project costs and managing changes to the cost baseline. Now the ITTOs of control costs are as follows. For inputs, we have project management plan, where we have the cost baseline and cost management plan. Then we have project funding requirements, which include projected expenditures plus anticipated liabilities such as reinsurance for the project. Work performance data are raw observations during project execution. This includes information about project progress such as which activities have started and progress completed project information or deliverables for the project. Also, it includes authorized costs and costs incurred. That's the raw observation. That's what work performance data is coming in for. And a recurring theme is that for all controlling processes, for the exception of monitor and control project work and perform integrated change control, all controlling process groups, processes, 9 out of 11 control processes give work performance information as the output by taking in the work performance data as the input. The next input is going to be OPAs, existing formal, informal cost control related policies and procedures and guidelines, cost control tools, and monitoring reporting methods along with lessons learned. For tools, we have earned value management, which is going to consist of using the S-curve from the cost baseline. Then we have forecasting to complete performance index, which is a formula of the budget minus earned value, basically how much money you have already earned, divided by the budget minus actual cost or cost incurred. And basically the TCPI is remaining work divided by remaining funds. This will show us, as we'll see, is how well we are progressing in terms of the project and in terms of cost. Next, we have performance reviews, which is similar to earned value management, where we are looking at cost performance to complete performance index formulas, and is a technique to see how well project is doing in regards to cost and schedule by giving a status report of the schedule and cost performance versus the overall project management baseline. Remember, the project management baseline or performance management baseline is a compilation of the scope, schedule, and cost baselines. And it is also going to be a technique used to measure, compare, and analyze actual performance on the project versus the baseline and gives us a status report. Then we also have, for the performance review, we also includes a variance report, which is an actual result versus the baseline to see the variance, how much of a negative or ahead positive value you are. Trend analysis report, it shows how the progress has been made over time and understands the trend of how much the cost has been spent. Critical path method is examined to see if the longest duration path has been violated, and CPM uses single activity duration. Critical chain method is a resource constrained critical path where the team places buffers to minimize impact to schedule and cost and still meet the schedule and cost baselines. Earned value report shows how much has been earned versus what has been expended, and formulas include cost variance, earned value minus actual cost, and CPI, earned value divided by actual cost. Also, schedule variance equals earned value minus planned value, and SPI, schedule performance index, includes earned value divided by planned value. Then we have project management software, such as MS Project, that help us deal with controlling costs. Then we have reserve analysis, where we analyze the contingency reserves, which is money set aside for known accepted risks or known unknowns as part of the cost baseline. And then we also analyze the management reserves, money set aside for unknown risks or unknown unknowns outside of the cost baseline. The output then is going to be the work performance information, and that is going to be the data analyzing context to see how well we are doing in terms of cost. Then we have cost forecasts, and basically we are forecasting how much we have left in terms of time and in terms of how much money we expect to have for the project. We will discuss next. And then we have change requests, because we might have to ask for more money, which is not recommended after having a baseline in place, but in extenuating circumstances, a change request would be risen and would go to perform integrated change control to be approved or rejected, and that is at the discretion of the sponsor. Then you have project management plan updates, project document updates, and OPA updates as usual. And the project document updates include updates to the risk register, activity cost estimates, and project schedule. And basically, project management plan updates is going to be updating the project funding requirements or the cost baseline. Next, as a more detailed discussion, the S-curve, also known as a cost baseline, is used to control the cost, where we look at the curve. You'll see an exam question like this, where you have a graph that shows all the different values, and it will ask you to calculate schedule variance, cost variance, schedule performance index, and cost performance index, along with TCPI. And you'll be given these numbers, and you'd have to calculate them. And then next slide here, we have earned value management terms. So planned value is the approved budget for the work schedule to be completed by a specified date, also referred to as a budgeted cost of work. And then the total planned value of a task is equal to the task budget at completion, is the total amount budgeted for the task. That's what planned value is. Earned value is the approved budget for the work actually completed by the specified date, also referred to as a budgeted cost of work performed. Actual cost is the cost actually incurred for the work completed by the specified date. Think of this as the burn, how much money you've burned down. Also referred to as actual cost of work performed. Then we have earned value management formulas. So schedule variance is difference between the amounts budgeted to the work you actually did and for the work you plan to do. So it's earned value minus planned value. And negative SV, schedule variance, means that you are behind schedule. Positive schedule variance means you're ahead of schedule. Then you have cost variance, is the difference between the amount budgeted and the amount of actually spent for the work performed. And negative cost variance, so the cost variance formula is earned value minus actual cost. And negative cost variance, it means that you're over budget, you're burning too much. Positive cost variance means you're under the budget, so that's good. Then you have schedule performance index, which is a ratio or index where you divide earned value divided by planned value, and you get schedule performance index greater than 1, means you are ahead of schedule. SPI less than 1 means you are behind schedule, and SPI equals to 1 means you're on schedule. So you need to manage your time as well. Then you have estimate to complete, which is basically another term, which is an estimate of total cost of a task today, tells if you're over or under budget. Estimate to complete formula is estimate at completion minus actual cost. It is an estimate of amount of funds to complete all remaining work. And the TCPI is a forecasting ratio to complete performance index, which is shown here. And that is basically taking into showing the required efficiency or required speed of spending money to finish the rest of the project in a given budget or cost target. So TCPI is work remaining divided by funds remaining, and you have two different variations of this formula. You take the budget minus earned value divided by budget minus actual cost. That's for original. Then you have budget minus earned value divided by EAC, estimate at completion, minus actual cost, which is a new estimate. And basically the earned value is what you get in return. BAC is the budget, actual cost is AC, and EAC is the new estimate or estimate at completion, the estimate today of the total cost of work. So that formula, basically the essence is if the TCPI is less than 1, then you can take it easy. That shows that you are below budget and the project work will be completed under budget. However, if the TCPI greater than 1, that means the project is out of control and you don't have enough money left to complete the project work that's left for the project. And you need to work aggressively to save costs and cautious in spending money. So in this case, if that happens, that means you want to fast track or basically fast track your resources to do parallel tasks in your schedule to make sure that you don't burn out the budget. Then you have other formula, which is variance at completion. That's your budget minus estimate at completion. So know these formulas for the exam and you should be all set. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like, and comment.